YouTube, what up? Welcome back to a new video. If this is your first time here on the channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Definitely check out some of my other videos. And if you like what you see, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. As you can see behind me, I've been collecting some games for the past 7 years for the Nintendo Switch, right? I have over 300 games for the console, but there are still some games that I want to get. I have a little wish list of games that I want to pick up for the Switch since I like collecting for it. And I figured today I'd share some of those games with you. So let's go over 7 Nintendo Switch games that I still want to add to my collection, but I haven't had a chance to yet. Let's get into it. So, first one here was one of my favorite games back in 2022, and that's Arcade Paradise. Out of all of the games that I'm going to talk about, guys, Arcade Paradise is the fact that I don't have this game in my collection bothers me the most. Because I loved it so much. So for those of you that don't know, Arcade Paradise is pretty much a sim, right? You end up inheriting, I believe you inherit it, or maybe your dad just gives you his laundromat. And I feel it definitely has a 90s, late 80s, 90s vibe to it. You get this laundromat and you're pretty much managing this laundromat. But, you know, in the back of the laundromat, it's a space. You turn that space into an arcade, and it's really fun. You end up buying, you have to manage your money in order to buy the arcade cabinets to add. You determine how much each arcade cabinet is going to cost for someone to play. You can actually go in and play the arcade games. It's a blast. It's just something about the game that hits every single button for me, right? I mean, it just is the combination of doing those mundane tasks, managing your money, playing the arcade games, having the 90s vibe to it. It's just so much fun to play. And why I haven't picked it up yet, I absolutely have no clue. I don't even think I've played the Switch version. I played it on the Xbox. I believe it was part of Game Pass, or maybe I just purchased it on the Xbox. Regardless, I want the Nintendo Switch version because I feel like that's the best way to play it. And I definitely will play way more of Arcade Paradise if I'm able to play it on the go. The next Nintendo Switch game that I definitely want to add to my collection sooner rather than later is Victor Vran. It's the Overkill edition. It is basically a port of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions that came out. And I have always wanted to play this game. Honestly, I don't even think I've ever even seen this game in the store, but I want to play it so bad. Looks right up my alley. Victor Vran is basically an action RPG, isometric, and it's definitely giving all the Diablo vibes that I need in my life. Victor Vran looks like a vampire killer. It's definitely giving Van Helsing vibes, okay? Gothic setting. Looks like there's a little bit of fantasy in there, some sci-fi. It just looks like the perfect game that I would definitely, vibe with. I just definitely turn on a show on Netflix or listen to a podcast or some music and just play. That's what I love about Diablo games, right? And this is a game that's very similar to Diablo, but has this totally different vibe to it. The last time I checked, the PS4 version of this game was super cheap to get, but that's not the route I'm trying to go. Y'all know I like collecting for the Nintendo Switch, so I do want to pick up this game, physical copy of this game, and I feel like they're going, I don't know, like on eBay, maybe around $30, maybe more than that. I don't know. I just need to go and get it because I really feel like it'll be my jam once I get around to playing it, and it just looks like something fun. Totally a me game. Now, the same thing can be said about Atari 50. I don't know why I haven't picked this game up yet. I have no clue. And I don't see it in the store anymore. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I swear, Target, Best Buy, Walmart, I don't see it anymore in the store. Maybe that's just telling of the way things are going with physical media anyway. But yeah, I need to pick up a copy of Atari 50. Now, I'm old. I'll embrace my age any day. I'm old, but I'm not cold. All right? So don't get that twisted. But I will say I am not old enough to remember ever playing an Atari. Now, I know we had an Atari in the house. All right, my brother tells me that we had an Atari. I don't know what Atari it was. I vaguely remember like the joystick, but that's all. I don't remember ever really playing Atari games like when the Atari was out. Okay, so yeah, I'm not familiar with Atari, right? That wasn't like my first console that I remember clearly, distinctly remember playing. That was the NES. But considering how much I love video games, I feel like Atari 50 is a must need for my Switch collection, just because, you know, it seems like it's a digital video game museum, okay? And it's giving all of this Atari history that I feel like is super interesting. You got this game that features some standout Atari games. So it's interactive. You can play these games, okay? But then I think what I'm more interested in is all the footage. Like, it has footage from back in the day. They've interviewed people recently that that used to work for Atari, and all of this footage is intertwined in this one little game. And I just feel like for a history lesson on video games, this is a must-have. It's developed by Digital Eclipse, and I love Digital Eclipse. I think they are really good developers, and they're super focused on like game preservation, and I think that's great. They take an old game and they just totally work their magic on it and make it look amazing. So I'm excited to sometime soon get Atari 50 and check it out, just because I'm ready to learn some stuff, guys. I'm ready to learn. In the beginning of the year, I did put out a video that was focusing on like beating my backlog. Okay, there's some games that I have in my backlog, and they've been there for years, that I've always wanted to complete. And this year, I was going to try to focus on beating them. And I've been doing my thing. I'll have an update video on that soon. But one of those games that I talked about was the House of F Morana. Now, I bought this game digitally years ago when it was on sale on the eShop, right? And I actually, gosh, it was back in October. I played a bunch of it. I feel like I'm almost at the end of the game. I put it down though, at that time, just because I got to this one character, and the storyline for this character was super heavy. And it was deep, and it was a lot. It was overwhelming me, and I just put it down. It's a visual novel, for those of you that don't know, that's creepy. It's creepy. It definitely has the gothic vibe down packed, okay? It's some horror in there. It's basically following certain characters over certain time periods that somehow are connected all to this one house, if that makes any sense. I think the story is captivating. It's really cool how things kind of come together. Like I said, haven't beat it, but I know off the break that this is a game that I do want to add to my collection. I feel like physical copies of the game might be almost like $100. So I really should just, you know, buckle down and buy it. I've been waiting to get it for years now. And yeah, I should just get it. Not today, but definitely sometime soon. Getting a physical copy of Pikmin 1+2 has been on my wish list for a while now. Now, I know you guys are probably like, Steph, wait a second. I thought you had issues with the time restrictions in video games, right? You're absolutely right. If you didn't watch my last video where I was talking about my top 5 pet peeves, definitely check it out. I did mention Pikmin 1 and 2 and 3 in that video because of their time restrictions. But considering how much I do love Nintendo, especially their first party stuff, and considering how much I love Pikmin 4, I do still, regardless the fact that definitely has a pet peeve of mine, and that's the time restrictions. And some of you guys have said, you guys in that video specifically told me that Pikmin 1 is the only one that has time restrictions. Definitely Pikmin 2 does not have that. And you also gave me some tips So I feel like I do need to get this physical copy of Pikmin 1+2. I'm excited. I need to give it another shake. Like I said, I loved Pikmin 4 so much. Had so much fun with that game. And the overall aspect of Pikmin games seem to be right up my alley. I enjoy that. I just don't want to be rushed. So as long as I'm not being rushed, or it's somewhat manageable in Pikmin 1 and 2, this collection, I feel like I'm going to have a great time with it. Again, this is another game that I don't ever really see in the store. I just might have to go and order it, whatever. I was kind of waiting for the price to drop. Not that it's an expensive game. I feel like it's regular price. Maybe it's 50 or 60 bucks, but I was waiting for it to go down in price. But we know that's not going to happen because it's a first party Nintendo game, and we all know how that goes. Those games aren't going on sale, at least a significant sale. You won't see that game go on sale anytime soon. So I might as well just go out and get it. The next game that I'm going to talk about that I want to add to my Nintendo Switch collection relatively soon is The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, or maybe it's Trails to Azure. Regardless, I want to add this game to my collection sometime soon. And when I say soon, I mean soon, because I feel like this game is going to be hard to come by. If I wait any longer, it's going to be way more expensive and it's going to be harder to get. So I might as well just buckle down and get it. I consider myself someone that enjoys the Legend of Heroes series. And I say that loosely because I haven't played all of the games in the entire series. Okay, I've played Trails in the Sky. I've played the first two Cold Steel games. Got halfway through, I believe it was like halfway through Cold Steel 3. It was kind of like, I'm gonna put this down for a little bit, and just never came back to it. I do though want to go back to it. I'll just have to restart it. But I enjoy these Legend of Heroes games, right? They are the perfect blend for me with the gameplay. Love the gameplay, and also like the relationship building. Kind of has like a Persona vibe to it. It's basically like this military school, and you're building relationships with other people, that are in your party. And I think that's great. That's cool. You decide on how you want to spend your time, X, Y, and Z. You know how that is. I've heard amazing things about this duology, and I definitely want to play it. These games are always fun to play so far from what I've experienced. And yeah, I feel like I need it in my collection because I know I'm going to love it. The last game that I want to talk about here that I want to add to my Nintendo Switch collection soon is Danganronpa Decadence. Now, this is a collection of the Danganronpa games. Now, I have played all of these games except for one. So it does include Danganronpa 1, 2, and then V3. I played all of those on the PlayStation Vita, almost said the Nintendo Vita, on the PS Vita. Played all of those and absolutely loved them. For those of you that don't know, Danganronpa is pretty much, it goes by like the Killing Game, right? Visual novel. There's some Phoenix Wright court trial cases in there. There's some mystery solving. You take a bunch of people, put them into one location. Very similar to like the movie Saw, right? You got to solve these puzzles, and then people get eliminated throughout the entire game. It sounds crazy, and guess what? It absolutely is. That's what I love the most about it. It's just off the wall. The writing, like I said, is fantastic. Music, everything together, the whole game, the whole experience is truly an experience. Now, this Decadence game, while it does have the 3 mainline Danganronpa games there, there is also a spin-off game that's included, and it's called Danganronpa S, The Ultimate Summer, I believe. And it has this little chibi art style to it. It looks like it might be like a party game of some sorts. I'm not sure. I haven't played it, but considering how much I enjoy the series, all the games in the series, some are a lot better than others, but overall, I've enjoyed the entire series. I feel like I need this game on my Nintendo Switch. Honestly, I don't mind buying this collection all over again. So yeah, those are 7 games that I still need to add to my Nintendo Switch collection. Need to do it sooner rather than later. Let me know, guys, in the comment box below, what Nintendo Switch games do you still need to add to your Switch collection? And if you've played some of these games that I mentioned here in the video, let me know what you think about them. I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and I'll check you next time. Peace.